It's New Year's Eve, and there's all kinds of pressure to have an epic New Year's resolution that feels like you're never going to meet it anyways. Today, we're going to talk about 5 ways that will help ensure you hit your New Year's resolution. All right, it's New Year's Eve, and there's all this pressure that, man, I gotta have a good New Year's resolution, or you've been going, this is the time for a new start. I love New Year's Eve because the idea is that it's a new beginning, right? And that new beginning allows you to go, what was old is gone. Today, I'm starting a new journey, and I can't wait to start. Well, when we say today, it's actually like, well, maybe on January 2nd, because let's be honest, I'm not really motivated January 1st. But like, I'm gonna start this new thing, and maybe it's losing weight. Maybe it's being a better mom or a better dad. Maybe it's, learning how to change the oil in the car. Whatever it is, you've put together something that you actually are looking at your life and going, I need to change this thing about me. I want to talk about 5 things that we can do that are gonna help us on that journey. The first thing is this. I want to encourage you today, when you think about these things, make life change goals, not situational change goals, right? Like don't make a change to go, I'm gonna lose 50 pounds by February 1st. Go, I'm gonna choose to live a healthier lifestyle, right? Make a lifestyle change. Lifestyle change has way more positive effect than a simple goal of, I'm gonna cut this out of my diet, right? I'm not gonna eat this. Where you go, no, I'm choosing to be healthy. Now, I can break that down. Here's how I plan to get to that health, right? But choose to make a total life change. Nothing. Because what I've learned is if I go for situational changes, usually I end up with a lot of failure because I haven't actually changed my life around that. Right? If I want to be a healthier person, I got to make bigger changes than just what I eat or just if I go to a gym once every 4 months, right? I actually have to change so many things to make that actually be successful. So make life changes, not situational. Number 2 was set smart goals. Now, if you've been around leadership podcasts, you're probably smarter at the SMART goals than I am, so I'm not going to spend a lot of time on them. But I'm going to just quickly explain what a SMART goal is. A SMART goal is this. The S stands for make your goal specific, right? I'm going to make this change in my life. This is what my goal is. Number 2, make it measurable. So it's got to be something that's like, okay, that's actually measurable. I'm going to be a better person. Well, how am I going to know I'm a better person? Well, I'm not going to yell at my wife as much. I'm not going to be frustrated with my kids as much. I'm going to have less screen time, right? It's got to be something where you can actually go, I'm measuring this to know whether or not I'm actually moving towards that goal or whether or not I actually hit that goal. If my New Year's resolution is so lofty that I can't get to it, I don't know if I ever achieved it, then how do I know what I'm doing, right? So specific, measurable. Now, A is achievable. Is this even realistic, right? Saying I'm going to lose, 120 pounds by March. That's not realistic. It's impossible to do. Now, someone's going to challenge me on that, but it's impossible to do, right? So is it achievable? And then lastly is the T for SMART is timely. Make it so that I'm going to do this by a certain date. I'm going to choose to be healthy. How am I being healthy? The measurable is I'm going to actually change my eating habits. I'm going to work out 3 times a week. I actually can achieve that because I've got space in my time. I can get up earlier. I can work out. I can do that. I can actually, I can achieve it with eating healthy because I've changed some of my shopping habits. And it's timely because I'm going to choose to live this healthy lifestyle, lose this weight by March 1st. And then we have change, right? Number 3 I wrote down is develop a tribe for support. I've learned in my life very few things I can actually do in isolation. Now, I understand right now we're not allowed to have tribes, we're not allowed to have friends over, we're not allowed to go do group workouts, all those kind of things. But that doesn't mean that we can't surround ourselves with friends through Zoom or contacts or whatever we're doing, FaceTime, Instagram. Surround ourselves with people that are actually doing what it is we want to do. When I lost over 60 pounds, what I realized is I changed my friends. I had to switch my friends from who were wanting to eat out all the time, wanting to eat bad food, wanting to just be lazy, to people who are like, no, we're dedicated to this lifestyle. We're dedicated to being healthy people. I sought out friends who were healthy, and when we got together, we ate celery instead of wings, right? Like we actually talked about these things. And so what happens though is by having my tribe and changing my social circle, I actually put myself in a position where I was actually able to do it. This is why some people talk about having accountability partners, having workout partners, going to the gym with somebody. The whole concept is this, is if I try to do it on my own, odds are it's going to be really, really difficult, and my possibility of failure goes higher. But if I have a tribe of people that we're navigating and talking this through, this is why we believe that Bible studies and watch parties are so important. Because the fact is that we believe that iron sharpens iron, as the Word of God says, that as I hang out with people who are like-minded, it will spur me on to be like-minded. Number 4, I wrote down, celebrate the wins. Listen, you got to celebrate. You got to go, man, this is awesome. Now, that doesn't mean like, hey, I went all week long without eating cake, so all day Saturday I'm having 4 cakes, right? Like, you don't want to do that. That's not what I'm saying. But take the moment to acknowledge when you have a victory, when you do something great, when you overcome something, or maybe it's you didn't lose all that weight just yet, but you're getting there. Maybe you did, whatever, but you today you chose to not have cake, you chose not to eat wings, you ate a celery. Then celebrate that. Those are big things. You got to give yourself the wins when you've been doing wins, because if you're constantly living in a self-defeating, you're going to actually end up failing because you're going to set that too hard. But when you can go, hey, you know what? I did really good today. I'm proud of myself for doing that. You call your tribe and say, hey, you know what? I did really good today. I feel good. And they're like, yeah, that's awesome. You can do it again tomorrow. You actually set yourself up for better success. And then lastly, which I think is one of the most important ones, is get back up after failure. I do this thing that is the most depressing and frustrating thing in the world. I track everything that goes in my mouth. I do not eat a certain thing or drink a certain thing without tracking the calorie intake of it. I have a food diary, and it drives Amber nuts, okay? Because every time she makes something, I got to go and take every ingredient and take the calorie intake of that ingredient. I weigh all my meat. I weigh how much vegetables I'm having. I'm weighing all this stuff, so I know exactly what I'm eating. And you know what? On days where it's awesome, I celebrate those wins. I'm like, man, I did so good today. I came in under my calorie count. I'm doing great. I feel good. I feel awesome. I feel great. And that's the great thing about doing a calorie count. But then the days where I don't do it and I eat poorly, I still force myself to track the calories, because if not, who am I lying to? No one else sees my food journal, just, MyFitnessPal and myself. We're the only ones that see it. But so if I lie about it, then I'm not actually successful. But what I do find is when I actually am honest, I'm like, hey, I actually had 9 Oreos. And that was my calorie intake for the whole day, those 9 Oreos, right? And now I'm over by 800 calories. Instead of letting that defeat me, go, I'm never going to beat it, I actually use that as a motivation going, I can do better tomorrow. And I actually find that I usually do better because I'm more conscious of it. So don't let a failure stop you from moving forward. Don't let a failure be like, okay, I wanted to hit this and I didn't hit it. But you know what? If I had 2 more months, maybe I would hit it. Or, yeah, I shouldn't have eaten these things, but I did eat them. So instead of saying, tomorrow I'm going to have 10 more of them, go, no, tomorrow's a new day. That's what I love about New Year's. It's a new day. Tomorrow's a new day. I'm going to get up. I'm going to dust off shake off the dust. I'm going to set my feet. I'm going to march forward, and I'm going to believe I can walk in victory and that I can do this. And I'm going to fight for it. I've used this illustration before, but it's like going, man, you take, your first few weeks, you're pumped, you're excited, you're energetic, you take 6 or 7 steps forward. Week 3, you fail, you take 2 steps back. You're still 4 or 5 steps ahead from where you started. And then you get ahead another 6 steps, and then you fall 5 steps, and you're still ahead. Don't let victories do what they are, or failures do what they are. Failures try to tell you that that's who you are and that you're not going to be victorious. Realize that as you're walking out your journey, you're actually moving forward all the time. Even if you fall backwards, you're still better than where you were when you started this journey. So if you want to make your New Year's resolution work, embrace failure, own up to failure, repent for failure, but get up the next day and try again. Listen, 2021 is going to be the best year of your life. You're going to be healthy. You're going to be spiritually strong. You're going to walk in victory. Let's believe for that. Let's fight for that. And let's not let our failures dictate our future. Have an awesome new year.